Filleting a fish is a process, but a simple one that takes time and some practice. A person can fillet a fish in their own backyard and dine in like a restaurant in the comfort of their own homes. After learning how to fillet a fish, there won't be a need to have someone else do it ever again. My grandfather taught me how to fillet fish when I was a child. I've been doing it ever since. I've taught several of my family members just how he taught me. People shouldn't have to waste money on the convenience of an already filleted fish when they can do it themselves. Filleting a fish is a simple process consisting of cleaning it, filleting it, and finally deboning it. Before filleting a fish, a person has to get it prepared within a few steps. Cleaning the fish is the most important step in filleting. Wash the fish thoroughly and try to remove most of the slime. A person should hold the fish head in their non-dominant hand, while in their dominant hand they should going over the scales in quick strokes with a scaling tool or a butter knife. With low water pressure, rinse the remaining scales off. Gutting a fish must be done carefully. A person should take the knife and cut the fish from the bottom all the way to the lower part of the jaw. Pull the cavity apart and detach the entrails using the fillet knife for extra support. Scoop out the rest of the organs with a spoon. Use a knife to remove the stomach lining as well. With low water pressure, rinse the fish off for a while, making sure to reach inside the cavity. Enough with the gross details. It's time to actually fillet the fish. Filleting a fish is the second step. When filleting a smaller fish, a person can remove the flesh on one side all at once rather than filleting in sections. Chop off the head of the fish first. Remove the scales and skin by placing the fillet knife in between the skin and flesh, cutting downwards towards where the head used to be. To remove the fillet from the bone place with the knife under the flesh, cut along the backbone towards where the head used to be, and remove the actual fillet. Filleting a larger fish requires cutting the flesh in two sections. A person should make a deep cut under the gills, and cut a few inches down towards the tail, making a slit along the top of the fish, and cut a few inches down as well. Use the front of the knife to separate the flesh from the bones, and cut the fillet from the fish by moving the knife downwards towards the tail along the backbone. After filleting the fish, there's still one remaining step before the fish gets thrown in the grill. Deboning is the last part of the fishing fillet process. When deboning a fish, use fingers to feel for bones. Lay the fillet skin down and use fingertips to run down the length of the fillet to feel for bones. Pin bones are typically located at the center of the fillet, where the meat is thicker. Pin bones can be up to half an inch in length, but only the tip of the bone pierces through the flesh of the fillet. Keith Goldman, author of How to Debone a Fish, suggests placing the fillet skin down on a mixing bowl. This allows the fish to protrude more, overall making them easier to remove. Pin bones have a tendency to cling to other fingertips after removing them from the flesh. Keep a bowl of water nearby when deboning and dip the tweezer in it each time a new bone has been removed. After the deboning is done, run a fingertip over the entire length of the fillet to check one last time for any remaining pin bones. After all the hard work of filleting a fish is done, dinner time is rewarded with a beautiful gourmet-style filleted fish with a minimal cost. Cleaning, filleting, and deboning a fish is a process that anyone can learn in less than a day that will always leave people impressed and leave their taste buds satisfied. I still remember the day my grandfather taught me how to fillet a fish several years ago, as if it just happened. I never imagined it would be so important to me later in life. I still show people how to fillet a fish the same way my grandfather did whenever the time comes around.